Like, these guys all kicked off at me. This guy's a scammer, this guy's committing intellectual property fraud and intellectual property theft. And there's then a clip of me signing Sneako as a client on an Omegle call.
You're Musa?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, I know you, bro.
His AdSense during that time was like, bro, it was pushing $200,000 a month. Once you know how to build a good story, then you can grab someone's attention. I'm not teaching people how to make $1 million a month. I'm teaching them how to make 10, 20, 30,000 a month.
How old were you when you made your first million?
I was 19.
How'd that feel?
I mean, it was no different than the day before. You gotta remember, you have to get there mentally before you get there physically. People look at me and consider, okay, you're relatively educated. But the truth is, like, you can learn from anyone. You shouldn't develop any type of moral high horse ever. There's lessons from the people you consider the dumbest. There's lessons from the people you consider the smartest. Lowering your ego and accepting the fact that I could learn something here. Whether you're talking to a prostitute or you're talking to a saint, doesn't matter.
So Musa, this podcast come about because I saw a clip online where you said you make $1 million a month from TikTok. How true is that statement?
No, it's not from TikTok.
Not from TikTok?
I mean, it stems from TikTok, you could say, but no, it's not from what I teach, no.
What is it stem from?
Yeah, well, it stems from, for example, my software company. It also stems from me selling courses. A small fraction of that is from making TikTok pages, but I'm not teaching people how to make $1 million a month. I'm teaching them how to make 10, 20, 30,000 a month. And that's definitely very, very doable with TikTok.
How so? I suppose this is the way you introduce yourself as well.
Yeah, so my name is Musa. I'm 22 years old. I'm an online multimillionaire, and I took my biggest claim from TikTok. I've generated over 20 billion views in a year before, during my peak of my agency, and also across a couple faceless pages I used to run. But yeah, the quickest way, in my opinion, to make $10,000 a month or $20,000 a month is 100% through TikTok and short form content in general.
Where does someone like yourself get the idea to think, you know, I'm going to create several TikTok pages, monetize them, and make my living from that?
It's not even where it originally started. It originally started from client work. So I started working with, I was working for a bunch of other people, right? So I was doing small edits for smaller people in the space. People like, this is really niche. People like Muller Juice, people like Naumac, people like, you know these names?
Yeah.
People like...
good friends of mine, both of them.
People like A Smalls.
Yep.
Like, I used to do edits for these guys like £20, £30.
So how long are we talking?
We're talking, I was like 14.
So this is a while ago then?
8 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So this is before TikTok even existed?
Yeah, this is before. I was doing edits, like long form edits for these guys for their YouTube channel.
Yeah, for 20 quid?
Yeah, £20, £30. Even when I was like 14, 15, I did one for Sharky for his, when he first started SDS, which is his sports channel. I did an edit then when I was like 14 or 15 or something like that. He paid me £80, which for me was a lot of money. I was aghast. Like, I didn't even ask for that much. He niced me at that.
Yeah, he gave you that,
Yeah. But yeah, I did a good edit. I did a good job. They got loads of it. We got like 300k views, something like that, from what I remember. So it was good. But it all started there. There's then a clip of me signing Sneako as a client on an Omegle call. Yeah. That's mad viral. Like, that's had over 100 million plus views, just that clip.
Can I just ask why you had a call and a meeting on Omegle? The most random internet degenerate website thing ever.
So, before Sneako was a streamer, he was an artistic content creator. He used to make very like mindful, thoughtful content. I mean, he's kind of reverted back to that style as of now as well. But back in the day, he used to really make videos like that. And he never used to go live. He would go live once a year. And he'd go live because he was bored. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say?
Just for the sake of it.
Yeah, and that's it. So he'd go live. He wouldn't have many viewers. He'd have like 1,000, 2,000 maybe, right? And he was going on Omegle. He used to have this show called 1 Minute Podcast, where he used to go into the New York subway with a table and ask like profound, thought-provoking questions. And he was doing it. He got bored on stream and he was like, all right, I'm going to do 1 Minute Podcast on Omegle. Type in the tag Sneako and I'll just cycle through those people. You can come find me on there and ask my question. So I was like, yo, fuck it, I'm going to go on. And bear in mind, he's in New York time. So it's like 3 a.m. for me. Yeah. And I'm young, bro. It's like 3 a.m. I'm mad young. I'm like 17 or 18 or something like that. And I jump on this call and I just sell myself. That's all I want to do, right? I'm this young. I do this, I do that, da 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 da. And he goes, oh, you're a video editor. I need an editor and all this other stuff. And at the time, I was doing some work for like, you know, Toby Jizzle in the side.
Yeah.
So I was just doing like some core editing for him, just chopping up streams, sending it to the main editor, and the main editor does all the effects and he uploads it.
Yeah.
So I was like a sub editor, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I said like, I edit for the sideman and that. And he goes, oh, I need an editor. He was like, what's your Instagram? And we'd gone back and forth on DMs, but not to a point where he'd know me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To me, it was just like a fan interaction.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he goes, oh, that's you. You're Musa. I recognize you. And I was like, oh, sick. Anyway, that night he sends...
Why did he recognize you?
From DMs, from the messages.
Okay. So the DMs were prior to you even jumping on the call with him.
Yeah, but it was never anything that would like stand out from anything that would be in his DMs.
Okay. Yeah.
So I didn't expect him to recognize me, but he did.
Mm-hmm.
So that night he followed me back and sent me the stream stuff and was like, yo, I need some videos done. And then he sent me some real videos that were going on his main channel, and I'd edit the core of it and send it to another editor to finish it up. But it all started there. Sneako signed me. He was my first client to start paying me $2,500 a month. First client ever to start doing it, right? And for me, that changed my life because my dad said to me, if you don't start making £2,000 a month before you finish college, you have to go to uni.
Okay.
And I told my dad, I'm not going uni under any circumstance. That's not happening.
Is that something your parents wanted for you to go straight to uni and go down that whole traditional route?
Yeah, of course. But I'm a very like, I never wanted to do that stuff, but I'm a very obedient child.
Okay, yeah.
I don't do anything. I've never been to a club. I don't mess around with girls. I've never drank. I've never smoked. I've never done drugs. I've never done anything.
So
I just,
whatever
whatever my dad says, I do 100% of the time, you know?
Yeah.
But with this, he said, you have to go uni. I was like, I'm not going uni. Like, I was telling him, look, I never say no to you. Like, or I try to not do it as much as I can, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'm not going though. This isn't happening. And he was like, no, you have to go. And he was like, okay, I'll be fair about it. Because he understands that people make money online.
Yeah.
So he was like, but to him, it was just like, just celebrities make it, right?
No one else can make it.
Yeah. But he was like, all right, I'll be fair. Like, if you can somehow, in a miracle, off a whim, manage to make £2,000 a month off the internet, yeah, why should you go uni?
Fair play, yeah.
Just run this. You can go uni whenever. I was like, okay, cool. So I didn't fight it. I just made it work. And off the back of that, I was able to, you know what I'm saying, make my £2,000 a month working for Sneako. And then I told Sneako, I was like, yo, jump in on this streaming game. At the time, streamers were just coming up. This was the time Aiden was streaming with rappers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Streaming was just blowing up.
So we're talking like 2019, 20?
Yeah, something like that, bro. Even a bit earlier. But I was telling him, like, yo, jump on this streaming flex. Like, this is the move. And he goes, I don't know. And I was like, just do one stream and watch how many videos I can make off the back of it.
Yeah.
He goes, all right, sick. So he jumps on stream and he streams for 6 hours. Now, because of New York timing, when he started streaming, I went to sleep.
Yeah.
Then when I woke up...
He was still streaming?
Well, he was finishing his stream.
Yeah.
But I woke up, then he finished stream and then went to bed.
Yeah.
Then by the time he woke up, I'd have 6 videos finished, all thumbnails done, all titles done, all edited, and I'd have clips for all of the videos I make as well.
So just a question. So off the back of that stream, what you're taking, are you taking short form, like, as in like TikTok bite size, or are you taking it 10 minutes to upload to YouTube?
Both. So I did all of this free on top of what I was actually getting paid to do.
Okay. So it's just another service you added in part of the 2.5K.
Well, yeah, but I did it thinking more long term.
Yeah.
Thinking like, right, if I can do this and Sneako can catch hype off the streaming phase, he's going to make more money. He can pay me more money.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
And if he goes from making like 10 grand a month to making 30 grand a month, and it's because of me, why would he not pay me an extra 5 or something like that?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, this is how I do it. Anyway, he calls me after he wakes up. I show him, look, I got all these videos done. He goes, yo, this is sick. Da, 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 da. And I enjoyed streaming. He says, I really liked it. I was like, all right, sick. Are you going to do it again? He goes, yeah, I'm going to do it again. And he goes, just off all the super chats and donations and stuff, he made good money as well. He was like, bro, this is money that I would make in a week. I just made in a day, just off streaming live. So he was like, yeah, fuck it, I'm going to do it again. So he does it again. and I bring all the clips again, and we just do that for like 2 or 3 months. Then everything starts to pick up, and this is where Sneako's streaming arc really kicked off.
Mm-hmm.
During the prime of it all, we did 900,000 followers in a month on Sneako's TikTok page. His Instagram got to 1.5 million followers. His second channel got like 800,000 subscribers in a month as well, or 2 months or something like that.
Yeah.
We did like over 150 million views just on TikTok. We did 1 billion views in 3 months. Like, it just went ballistic, right? And then that was my takeoff. What I realized is that Sneako's account on TikTok was getting money for the views. Now, back then...
Was this before TikTok created the Creator Fund?
Yes.
Okay.
This was before then.
Yeah.
It's called the Creativity Program now. But what they used to do is they used to give you around like £200 for every 1 million views.
Mm-hmm.
Or $200, like £150. So
Yeah.
it sucked, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's just not that good. But then they released the Creator Rewards Program, which allows them to pretty much get like pretty much one of one. You know, you'll get $1 for 1,000 views. It does vary based on what type of content you make. You know,
Yeah.
if you make like content related to drugs or content that's
Your CPM's going to be a lot
that's
lower.
around violence, but it's the same with any platform. Same
Yeah.
with YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, you make
Financial videos, they bang for CPM.
exactly, and
But
it's
then-
the same.
yeah.
Like people that make financial videos or videos about finance on TikTok, you'll get a $2, $3 CPM.
Yeah.
You'll get like $3,000 for a million views.
Mm-hmm.
But for videos that will have like you know, the like people that clip the Red Pill stuff, for example,
Yep.
you're gonna get like a 50 cent RPM. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
yeah.
what I'm trying to say? Like, that's
It's
what it
not
is.
something that's going to be heavily pushed.
Yeah, bro. People
Yeah.
don't want their ads in front of that shit.
Yeah.
So you're just not gonna get paid as much. But regular AI content stuff that I push now, you're looking around 80 cents to $1.20. So you're $1 your average really for 1,000 views.
So just a quick one, just to break it down further. At the time, was Sneako the only creator or only content creator you was working with?
I lived and breathed Sneako for a year, no diddy. Like I would day in, day out, no joke. Wallahi on my life, I would go sleep downstairs because you know UK summer's too hot.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
couldn't sleep in my room upstairs.
You don't want where the heat rises now.
couldn't sleep in my room upstairs. So I would sleep downstairs with my laptop. I'd wake up at 4 a.m. just because it's bearable, right, at that time. And I would sit there and I would clip his streams whilst he was live,
Yeah.
right? Then when he's finished, I would schedule them all up for him. He'd go sleep. The videos would wake up. Bro, his AdSense during that time was like, bro, it was pushing $200,000 a month.
That's mental.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Just off streamer clips.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was going mad. But that's when I discovered that platforms will pay you for clips. You know, like TikTok will pay you for clips, and that's when I started to realize, yo, I got a good knack for making a streamer clip, like a viral streamer clip. I know a viral moment when I see it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna start clipping streamers. So I just kept clipping streamers, and I started realizing like, yo, I can make a page that's not for the streamer, but my own page, and I'll make money off it.
And what, just clipping other streamers?
Yeah.
Put it all onto there.
Yeah. So just like a clipping page, right?
So correct me if I'm wrong. I know this is fast forward in time a little bit, but correct me if I'm wrong. Now on TikTok, if you do that, you can't monetize it because it's someone else's content?
Yeah. So if you do that now, TikTok have cracked on it, and you don't make as much. But that's why you know, AI content is
The
where
way
it's
forward.
at. Yeah.
Okay. Now, the reason why I was asking if Sneako was the only creator you work with is because all the metrics that you just said there, how many followers you got, the money, etc., so on and so forth, were you analysing other creators to see what they were getting in a month, and then that's what made you think, raw, Sneako's actually blowing up differently?
Yeah, 100%, bro. Like, there was even a point, if you go back and look at Sneako's Social Blade on his second channel, bro, there was some days with him 40,000 subscribers in a day.
Yeah,
You
mental.
know? Like, the average was like 20,000 subscribers a day, and then
Yeah.
it got to like 45, 50,000 subscribers a day. It was mad. And that's when I started to realize, like, yo, some of the biggest YouTubers don't grow at this rate, you know? And there's a direct correlation with how many clips were made, how many views he got, and how many subscribers he then achieved, right?
Do you think it was just the more content you put out, the more followers and more engagement you're going to get?
100%. Like, Sneako is the reason I first started my agency, because he became my first case study. Look at what I did for him. I can do this for you. Come and work for me. And it's how I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I started making some extra money as well. But these, like for example, Jordan Welch was a client of my agency for a long while.
Yeah.
Now, with Jordan being a client, I got a clip for him that got 35 million views on TikTok. He told me that 35 million view impacted the actual YouTube video. He said it pushed on YouTube dashboard, you have 1 of 10.
Yeah.
He said it pushed it up the ranks as the TikTok went viral. And not only that, like it pushed it to a point where it was performing above average. And that video then went on to do millions of views.
Bro, I can tell you this from first-hand experience, yeah? So I had a podcast I done with a guy from Birmingham. His name's Kieran Quinlan. He's just, he's a personal trainer, he's got his own gym, but he told a mad story on the podcast that he got stabbed in the heart. And I remember I think it was an 8 out of 10. It just didn't bang on YouTube at all. So I started posting the clips of the story from him getting stabbed in the heart on TikTok. Each TikTok was getting, I think, the first one got 1 million views. Second one was maybe 5 million. Next one was maybe 7. People were just so engaged to the story. It went from 10,000 views within 2 days of posting it to within the first week, I think it was on 120,000 views. And I retitled the YouTube video to I got stabbed in the heart rather than personal trainer from Birmingham, whatever the title was at the time, just so people could find the correlation. And then that's when I clocked these TikTok clips, especially for podcasts. If you can capture the right moment and just make it go viral, even in this, I don't think series probably works anymore, like part 1, part 2, etc. But that was just testament to me of, crack down on short form content because it's about to blow up basically.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I posted a video on Twitter, it got 22 million views, and it was me obviously doing what I do, sell my course, teaching people how to make money from clipping.
Yeah.
And bro, there was big uproar. I don't know if you know Musa. He's a YouTuber, he's quite big.
No, I don't know
there's
that.
also Sneako.
Yep.
There's also like, you know, the Your Mama channel.
Yeah.
Like these guys all kicked off at me. This guy's a scammer. This guy's committing fraud. Like this guy's doing like intellectual property fraud and intellectual property theft. And this guy.
Because you're clipping their content.
Yeah, and he was saying like, this is stealing from the original creator. Like no one wants this and all this other stuff. And I was like, bro, you're tripping. Like everyone wants clipping. Everyone wants people to push their content. Everyone wants a viral moment, you know?
Bro, I get this all the time because my parents, the older generation, they don't necessarily understand it. If something's if my podcast is posted on TikTok, not on my page, they're like, these guys are doing you out. And I'm like, no, I'm loving it because they're putting my content out without me even lifting a finger.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like,
I let them get paid for it.
Being a CEO isn't just about making tough decisions, it's about being at your very best every single day. That's why a lot of CEOs trust Sunnah Supplements, the world's first halal supplement brand. From halal collagen to electrolytes, Sunnah Supplements formulates products to help you perform at your highest level. Whether you're leading a company, a family, or simply yourself, Sunnah Supplements should be your partner to help you achieve more. The products are literally crafted to fit your lifestyle, your values, and your ambition. Every single ingredient is backed by science and every single product is halal certified. And every formula designed to help you become the best version of yourself. And here's why I love Sunnah Supplements, because every single sale they make, they donate a portion of it to charity, which is something I deeply align with. So I'm not just buying products that fuel my body, but I'm also buying products that align with my values. With over 50,000 customers and having just launched in the USA, be sure to join the movement today and use the discount code CEOCAST for 10% off. Or I'll make this even simpler for you guys. Scan the QR code on the screen right now, which will take you directly to the website. And once again, when you're checking out, use code CEOCAST to get 10% off of your order. What an absolutely bloody bargain. So I want to thank Sunnah Supplements for A, sponsoring this video, but B, helping me become a better person overall.
Literally, like I remember trying to sell this service to people, and some people were like, no thanks, I don't need it, but if you do it, like let me know and I'll pay you an exposure. I'm like, hold on, so you don't want to give me money and now you're mad that the platform's giving me money? Like, come on, man, you're just being greedy.
Literally.
But anyway, I feel like this is an argument that's slowly being faded out from the fact that there are terms literally like clip farming. Like, there's a reason that the biggest streamers in the world are clip farming. It's because they want clips.
Yeah.
You know, there's even like, literally the other day, Marques Brownlee tweeted, if you saw a whole nother channel, a fan channel around your channel, taking your content, turning it into their own content and making money off it, do you A, like strike the channel and complain, or B, just let them run? And Mr. Beast replied to it and said, I encourage it. Everyone go and do it with my videos. You know, like, if that's not saying something, then you're just out the loop.
I'll say the more the merrier, honestly.
100%.
Because then everyone's winning in that situation. You're getting more exposure, which is only going to boost you as a creator. They're going to get paid from it, and they're always going to have content around your content, or whether they want to do it off other people's content. Everyone's winning in that situation. Makes sense. Just to come back for it for a second, when you was working with Sneako, what was your actual whole end goal? Because I'm assuming you didn't want to just be the editor forever or the clipper or something like that. What was your actual end goal? Did you have the agency in mind, or was it something completely different?
I was just going where the money was, bro. My end goal is like any other end goal. I'm trying to get paid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? So like, I'm not trying to. I was like, my philosophy for business, and this kind of is everyone's philosophy, and if it isn't, it should be.
Yeah.
If you can make someone else more money, chances are they give you a cut.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? It's that simple. So I just thought in my head, if I can make Sneako more money, he has more money to give me. How do I make him more money? That's it. That's what I was thinking.
Takes
right?
the bag.
Exactly. So even now, like my software company Creo, like what does the company do? It helps people make AI content. You don't even have to know how to edit. You can actually have zero skills. The AI has the skills. That's what I've built out to a point where you can literally have Creos in your brain, right? And you can still pump out viral content. You know, I've taken away the difficult part of the process. So what I've done is like, now what does Creo do? Creo helps people make money. You know, if you're using Creo and you're making even $100 a month off TikTok with the AI content that you're making off the platform, why would you not pay me 19? Makes sense. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And the facts are that we have 2.5 million active users and we're consistently growing. We do over 1 million website visits every single month. Like, that doesn't happen with a company that doesn't make people money.
Yeah, of course, yeah. People want the service.
Of course.
The service makes people money.
Our subscription, like over Black Friday, for example, we would spend 10 grand on ads. We would make back like 6. But to us, it doesn't matter because our product is actually so good that we can afford to lose 4 grand on the day. But all the customers that stay and pay for the next month, like our product is so good that we're confident they'll stay for the next month. And as a result, we'll make a profit long term.
You're basically putting in investment for long-term rewards.
100%.
Because once people will try your service and your platform for the first time and it works for them, they're going to stay hooked onto it.
Yeah, and the data shows that they do that, which means our product works, you know? So we can afford to do stuff like that. And the fact is that, like I said, like it's hard for a business to have 2.5 million active users and not do what it promises. You know what I'm trying to say? That just doesn't make sense.
So at what point in your life do we go from being a clipper to then creating an agency to now you just said you got a software company? I mean, you're more than just a creator now. You're full-on businessman, entrepreneur. At what point did that change for you?
Yeah, so essentially the route everything went was I did all the clipping for Sneako, realized you could make money off TikTok pages, right? Launched my agency, and with my agency, I had 2 offers. I had an offer where you keep the money that I make for you on the page and you pay me a bigger retainer, or you pay me a smaller retainer, but I keep the money I make off your page.
Okay.
Right? So, for example, Adrian Harding, I don't know if you know him. He's like a Gideon type of creator.
Okay, yeah.
Right? He's been a client of the agency for about 2.5 years now, right? And he pays us a high retainer, but he keeps all the money on his page. So now we'll make him 15 grand a month on his page, right? Getting all the views we do, and even like some of our best months is like 20 plus, 30,000 plus, right? And he will pay us like 7.
And so this is just from one page?
Yeah, well, this is from one page, and this is from him, right? So he'll pay us like 7,000 a month, right? But he keeps all the money we make on that page. So if we make him 30 grand, why would he not pay us 7?
Yeah.
If we make him 20, why would he not pay us 7?
He's still in profit.
100%, right? Not only that, his page wouldn't generate 20 or 30 with anyone else.
Yeah.
Because I'm the best,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that's it. But then at the same time, because I started to realize how much money was being made on these client pages, I was like, damn, I should start a system where I run my own pages. So at first it started with like clipping streamers, but then I did start to realize that can become dry. There are dry spells. Like, for example, Neon hasn't had a good clip in like a couple months.
Okay, yeah.
You know? So I'm like, all right, so if you build like a Neon page, like what happens when his streams go dry? There's just no clips now.
Or what happens if they stop streaming?
Yeah, what happens if he dries up and all this other stuff? So I was like, right, how do we scale? And you start looking at AI, especially since AI videos can come about and stuff like that. So what I started doing was I started using AI to duplicate videos and run AI pages. Now, AI pages, granted, they obviously don't go viral as often as streamers, but they're more consistent. So, for example, a AI page, you can run up to 10 grand a month first month. I've had tons of people within 13 days get monetized and get their first $1,000, right? Within 13 days. And then by the end of 30 days, they'll have made their first 2 or 3,000. And then, I'm trying to say 40, 50 days in, you're already at like 10,000 in a month.
Yeah.
And that's happened so many times, So, especially with how many people have bought my course, there's just so many success stories, Even if you go to WAP and you just go and have a look at the reviews, like, they're all there.
So what was actually involved in your course?
My course is teaching people what, like retention tactics, because that's the objective on all these platforms.
Retention tactics, what, to keep the viewer locked into your TikTok, or retention in what way?
Yeah, retention to keep the viewer locked in on your AI generated video, on your clipping video, like how to identify a viral moment, and if you can't identify one, how to create one from scratch.
Okay.
Right? Like, for example, if you use AI, then you are looking to create a viral moment as opposed to finding one.
Yeah.
And once you know how to create one, it's as if you have infinite money. You just make a viral video and, I'm trying to say. Yeah. And then money will just appear. That's just how it goes.
You're a great person I'm going to ask advice for now. So I'll be honest, I generally don't like putting podcast clips up. I think it's so rinsed, washed out, and I'm trying to figure out the strategy of what to go down in terms of short form content. Now, surely there could be loads of clips of me and you talking right now, but trying to find a key specific viral moment, that's one thing, but then also trying to keep the audience there is another thing, and then trying to get the audience to go to the actual full-on podcast is a whole other thing. So in your experience, whether you've worked with podcasters or not before, what would you say is the best thing a podcaster can do to have their clips go viral? Is it to create dedicated short-form clips outside of the podcast, or chop it up in a certain way with images, videos, what?
Nah, I think that the best thing you can do is focus less on getting the most viral person on your podcast and focus more on getting the best story on your podcast. Because stories is what get retention. Once you know how to build a good or tell a good story, right, then you can grab someone's attention, anyone's attention. For example, that guy who was just some regular guy who does fitness in Birmingham, but because he had the better story than the large majority of people, his one went viral, So if you're a podcaster, focus more on having interesting guests on that you're going to have an interesting conversation with, or someone that has a good story to tell. And then as a result, those clips will go viral. Focus less on, Aiden Ross is the biggest streamer. How do I get Aiden on my podcast? Don't worry about that. Focus more on getting
the stories.
Yeah. And then not only getting someone with a good story, getting the best story out of them as a podcaster, Yeah. Focus on lining up your questions beforehand, trying to get answers out of him. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Like, try and dig for it, basically.
Yeah.
That's like literally when I WhatsApped you before we even started this podcast saying, how open are you, is one of them ones, basically.
Yeah.
And that just says a lot. No, fair play. Do you know, I always like to get people on who I'm inspired by. I've seen what you've been doing on TikTok, socials, and I think generally, hats off to you, bro. And I think there's going to be a lot of people around your age or even younger than you who look up to you as an inspiration, because you've kind of set the path for not necessarily going down the university route. People can go and show their mum and dad, say, Mum, Dad, I don't need to go uni. Look what Musa's doing right now. He's making $1 million a month. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're an example, a great example for that matter, of what is actually possible at such a young age. So hats off to you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the kind words.
What's been the biggest, as much as I say that, making $1 million a month, what's been the biggest struggle you've had to face along the way to get to this point?
The biggest struggle, right, that a lot of people don't even know they face is that a lot of people yearn for poverty and they don't even know it. And that's the difference between those that make it and those that don't, right? So I tweeted about this the other day, right? Basically, it's the concept that God is so generous that he gives you exactly what you want 100% of the time, right? A lot of people tend to think that manifestation is something that you just turn on. I'm going to manifest making money. I'm going to manifest this. No, manifestation is similar to breathing. It's like a subconscious act that's continuously happening and has always happened, right? But a lot of people don't know that in their heart they desire to be poor, right? For example, you can say one thing, like, if I had money, I'd be happy, and if I had this, I'd be that. But what you truly want and how you truly behave are always shown, And as a result, God will give you what you want. So if you're someone that's working a 9 to 5, or someone that's a a university student and stuff like that, right? And you just refuse to believe that kids like me are actually making the money we say they are. There's no way he's doing it. He's a scammer.
There's a lot of
right?
ignorance with it.
Yeah, like, it can't be real. Like, this guy just scams people, and that's how he makes his money, and that's how he can afford this. And if that's what you believe, and you believe that it's impossible to see money like that, then God will bring that reality towards you.
Yeah, and you'll never get it. Yeah.
And that's not because God's a mean being or stuff like that. God is generous. He's giving you exactly what you want, you know? If that's what you want to believe, then that's the reality God will put you in. It even says in the Quran, verse 13:11, right? God does not change the environment of a person until they change within themselves. It says it in the Quran. And not only that, it also says similar stuff in the Talmud. It also says it in the Bible. Even if you go like the spiritual route, in the Kabbalion, it emphasizes the first Hermetic principles, all is mind, the mind is all, you know? And it clarifies all of these things in all religious scriptures, even the agnostic scriptures, where people that can accept God but don't accept an organized religion, even says it in there, that all of these things begin in the mind, they begin in the heart, every part of it, you know? So
you have to truly, it goes back to the good old fashioned saying of, you know, if you can vision it, you can achieve it. But if you have doubts about that Musa's doing $1 million a month, or X person's doing X a month, then you're never going to be able to get that in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it all comes down to like how open you are towards these things. The hardest part for every single person ever is that you have to position yourself where, I sound like Belmar, innit? Positioning, brother.
Yeah.
No, you have to position your mind in a spot where you think money's easy to make, even though you're someone that is poor.
Yeah.
It's hard to think money's easy to make as someone, when you got less than 10 grand in the bank, bro. How is it, like, how can you see 100 grand as not a lot of money, even though you have 10 grand in the bank? But once that realization hits you, that's where life changes.
Yeah.
That's where your business career changes, where everything changes. In my opinion, it's spotted within opportunity. So when you notice an opportunity that you have to actively seek, once you've developed a skill and you spot an opportunity, that's when 100 grand can look like not a lot of money, even though you have less than 10 grand in the bank, for example. So my opportunity spotting, where my mindset truly shifted, was when I realized, damn, one page can make someone 10 grand. I can run 10 of these pages and make 100 grand. And all it is 100 million views. Now, for me and what I was able to achieve, I saw what I did with Sneako. I did 170 million views in a month just on his TikTok.
Yeah. Light work.
I was like, 100 million views is light. I've done that. You know what I'm trying to say? I was like, I can do that. It's 100, that makes 100 grand easy to make.
Yeah.
And at this time, I had less than 10 grand in the bank. So just off the matter of opportunity, I was able to elevate my mind, you know? A lot of people love to think that mind and matter are two different things. They say mind over matter. But the truth is mind and matter are one. You know, once your mind elevates, your matter will elevate too. Matter being like from a physical perspective of atoms and stuff like that, you know? Your reality will adapt to your mindset. So if your mindset shifts to a point of 100 grand and a lot of money, it's only a matter of time before your reality catches up to that and 100 grand actually becomes not a lot of money.
Yeah.
As someone running multiple businesses, I know how overwhelming it could be managing everything. Finances, taxes, expenses, you name it, it can definitely become a lot to manage at times. I used to rely on several different services just to keep everything on track, but that's where it all changed when I started using Tide. You see, Tide has completely changed the way I manage my business. With their business account, I've got all my tools in one place. Payments, expense tracking, savings, taxes, I've got it all in their app. That means no more juggling between different platforms. Tide gives me the simplicity and efficiency I've always needed. And here's how it's worked out so great for me, because in 2025, I'll be launching my own business, which you'll find out soon. And I'm doing it all through Tide. Furthermore, this is my business card for the new business. I registered my company and got my free business account all within one day, making it fast and reliable just the way it should be. Now here's the best part. I'm about to change your life as well. If you're looking for a similar solution, Tide is offering something special for you CEOCAST viewers. When you sign up and use my code CEOCAST50, you'll get £50 cash back when you spend £100 on your new Tide account. Terms and conditions apply. It's seriously a no-brainer for anyone trying to streamline their business. So what can I say? From someone who's actually been using Tide, it has changed my life more than I can imagine. It's just made things so much more simpler and easier. And I know it can do the same for you guys, which is why I'm so glad to partner with them. So stop wasting time on multiple services and join Tide, where you have everything in one place. Head over now using the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen right now and get started today. And once again, make sure you use that promo code CEOCAST50 because that's when you'll get your £50 cash back.
Do you know what? As I'm speaking to you right now, especially within the last 5 minutes of everything you just said, there's one thing I'm picking up on. You are a very well-educated man. I want to know where you get the education from, because it's not something that you can't read your mindset in a book. Where did you develop all this mindset from?
Bro, it's openness. That's all it is, bro. Like, firstly, I appreciate the kind words. But the truth is, like, I'm no smarter than anyone that's watching this. I never will be, you know? Everyone has the ability to learn what I learn and know what I know and think how I think and behave how I behave. I'm not special. I'm no saint. I'm no smarter than anyone, you know? The truth is, I just want it more. You know what I'm saying? And what comes alongside that is, for example, I wanted to strive for financial literacy. I wanted to strive for like mindset elevation and consciousness elevation and these type of things. And as a result, I read more books than you, and that put me ahead. Like, it's not because I'm smarter than you or because I could understand these things better than you. You can understand these things younger than me. You can understand them better than I can. Realistically, I know nothing. I'm a continuous student to the game. And that's just how it works. It's continuously lowering your ego in every instance possible, talking as little as you can and learning as much.
Yeah.
And
I love that saying. You know, when people say that all the time, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use them. Listen more.
That's it, bro.
Absorb more.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of the times, like, even if it's from, a lot of people tend to think, like, when you get to a position like mine, like you said, people look at me and consider, okay, you're relatively educated. But the truth is, like, you can learn from anyone. You can be someone, like, you shouldn't develop any type of moral high horse ever. Because there's lessons in everyone from everyone. There's lessons from the people you consider the dumbest. There's lessons from the people you consider the smartest. There's lessons from people you consider immoral, you know? There's lessons to be learned in everyone. And, you know what I'm saying, lowering your ego and accepting the fact that I could learn something here, whether you're talking to a prostitute or you're talking to a saint, it doesn't matter.
How old were you when you made your first million?
I was 19.
How'd that feel? 19-year-old millionaire.
I mean, it was no different than the day before. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you got to remember, you have to get there mentally before you get there physically.
Of course, but then actually seeing it physically is, I mean, in my experience, you think leading up to it, oh yeah, my head's already there, I'm ready for it anyway. So when it comes, it is what it is. But when you see it, it's like, oh shit, we're here.
Yeah, it is like oh shit, we're here. Like, I really did this shit. Like, It is a feeling like that. And you're all gassed for a little bit. But then you start to realize, like, okay, actually having 1 million liquid isn't a good thing. It's not the flex I think it is, because the people that have way more than 1 million don't really have that liquid. Or obviously they probably do have it liquid, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like, the smartest thing isn't to have it liquid; it's to have it invested.
Well, this is I suppose the segment of the podcast where I want to ask what a 22-year-old does with his money. Where do you put your money?
Oh man, you're not gonna like my answer, bro.
Oh god, what are we gonna say?
Well, I haven't got anything dumb. Like, I can't drive, so I have a driver. He takes me around everywhere. So,
what car do you have for the driver?
V-Class.
All right, Fairs. I thought you were gonna say Rolls-Royce Cullinan or something.
No, bro. I just got like a V-Class. He just takes me around. And then I also, but I've done the foundational stuff. Like, I've paid off my parents' house. I bought my dad a car. These type of things. But I don't really splurge or splash. These past like 3-4 years, I've just been balls deep in crypto. And I've made a lot of money in crypto, bro.
Did you have a mentor or anything for crypto?
Or
learn everything yourself?
I have a business partner, and he was buying Bitcoin under $1.
Okay, back in the day.
Yeah, so he is like relatively older than me, like almost double my age. But he helps. But at the end of the day, bro, like, the fundamental lesson of crypto is just buying the bear market. So when it's high, you know, it's hard to lose if you bought when it's so low.
Yeah.
And when crypto is like not interesting to anyone, you know, you buy just some of the top projects, it's hard to lose. And the difference is that obviously I'm not playing around with 10 grand trying to make 100. I'm playing around with M's trying to make 8 figures. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? There's runs come about recently. I've had some good days. I've made a lot of money off the back of that. But realistically, like, I'm waiting for all that to be over, to exit all of my positions and stuff like that. Then I'm just gonna buy property, bro. Like,
I was just gonna say, like, if you need to definitely diversify in crypto, bricks and mortar, you know, just like the old generation know it as well. Bricks and mortar is the safest thing you could do. 100% get into property too.
I don't think I would. I don't think I'd step into bricks and mortar. I just think it's just another sector of expertise that I'm not educated in, and it's not really something I'm looking to get educated in. If I'm being honest, I'm more interested in super low risk long term investments, just to like beat inflation and stuff like that. I'm also looking.
Yeah, but then that is property.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, property is assets. Like, you're buying an asset. You know, like you could like index funds beats the inflation and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there's that side of things as well. It's a whole different. I'm not an investment expert manager sort of thing.
yeah, but I'm kind of just looking for like, I'm gonna buy my property and stuff like that, and that's just what I got in mind. Like, not like really a car guy. Like, I'll have a nice car eventually. I haven't even got my license yet. You know what I'm saying? But like, I'll have a nice car eventually and all this other stuff. But for now, bro, like, I'm traveling a lot. Like, I spent a lot of money on travel last year, just going around meeting a bunch of people, learning a lot from others as well.
Do you go out of your way traveling to learn, or it just happens to learn while you're traveling?
Like, I'll give you an example, right? So, at the end of this month, I'm gonna go to a crypto event, right? And I know the founder of the event and all this other stuff. But really, I'm ignorant in the space. Like, I just buy and sell, but I'm not deep into the fundamentals of the space and all this other stuff. So I'm just going with an open mind, hoping to learn something new, you know? Or just to learn more about my investments and stuff that I've already got going on. You know, these type of things. And whenever I'm about, what's so good about having like personal brand, slap it on your story, see who's about.
Why did you decide to start a personal brand?
Sell my course. I wanted to make more money selling a course. So
okay, it's purely just to sell the course.
Yeah, bro. I'm trying to make money selling a course. Like, you know, a lot of people love to like, I'm trying to help people. No, bro. I'm trying to make a band. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to stack bread. Look, the truth is, I know how to make money really quickly, especially we're talking 10 grand, 20 grand a month from making clips. I live and breathe clips. It's everything, you know? Even for my own page, my own personal brand, I'm still making clips. A lot of people love to be like, oh, you're a scammer, you're this. You're watching a viral clip that I just made. I'm telling you, look, if you make viral clips, you can get paid. And then they're like, oh, you're a scammer. On my personal brand page that has 700,000 followers, all from making clips on a viral clip. Like,
it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any.
You are the proof of the pudding.
Yeah, you're the proof.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? So, anyway, you get the point. Like, I've done it for me. I've done it for clients. I've done it for businesses. I've done it for my own businesses. I've done it for everything. I've made money clipping from everything. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I know I've just had this whole big speech about lowering your ego, but I am the clipping king, bro. Like, it doesn't get a lot better than me. There's not a lot of people more qualified than myself. You know what I'm trying to say?
Bro, I find it so interesting. Like, when I'm sat here in front of you right now, I'm just imagining yourself, but then also a bunch of youngsters, how times have changed in the matter of 10 years. I'm 27 now. When I started working at 16, 17, purely retail, right? The online digital space. I mean, it was there, but you never had things like clipping, or no one thought to do YouTube from where I'm from. And I'm just looking at it now, how times have changed for all of my age group and my generation, from retail jobs to now I'm just picturing youngsters at home, 15, 16 years old, making money just from clipping up short form stuff. And it's mental how times have changed.
Yeah, bro, it is crazy how different things
do you think it's dangerous as well, though? Because I'll say this, if you're at home and you're making a whole bunch of clips the same way you done with Sneako, right? There's a big difference because you're on your own the whole time, whereas I'm not trying to put a comparison here by any means, but I was, for example, in Carphone Warehouse, I was dealing with customers every single day on a daily basis, as well as my own colleagues. So it built up my social skills, my communication skills, generic stuff, right? Now, if someone's at home making clips, they don't experience that. Can you talk on that side of things or anything?
I mean, it's up to the person. Like,
I suppose the best way to ask is, what was your social life like?
oh yeah, bro, I've always been like quite like open to talk type of person, you know. In school, I was like on and off. You know, you turn it on with your friends, turn it off around strangers, that type of thing. But now I can just spit to strangers. I've developed it quite good. It's actually part of the reason I started traveling like a lot, you know, because if you're lost, what are you gonna do? You have to talk to a stranger to find your way. Talk to someone in the airport, you talk to someone at the hotel, you talk to a stranger, You have to make new friends if you're lonely in a new place and like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So you just learn to talk to strangers. That's part of why I forced myself to go and travel. But at the end of the day, there's a famous poet named Rumi, and he says, what you seek is seeking you, you know? So if you're looking to stay around nothing and stuff like that, then that's the life that will bring, you know? But at the end of the day, if you're looking as an extrovert to go and make new friends, then odds are those people are trying to find it too. One of the best ways of looking at it is a lot of people love to say like, oh, I bet now that you got a big personal brand and there's like girls hitting you up and But if I'm being honest, bro, there isn't. And the truth is, because I'm not seeking that, so that doesn't seek me. You know, it's like a perfect example of the quote.
22 years old now. What does the future look like for you? What do you envision it to be? Because we can go back to the saying of, get the bag, bro, get the bag, but the bag's already yours. So now what?
Yeah.
What's the mission?
My end goal has always been, since the very, very beginning, is I want to make 100 mil liquid cash. And the reason I want to...
You got age time on that, or...?
I can do it before 30, 100%. I'm super sure of it. But after I get that done, I want to take 90 mil and give it to charity.
Inshallah.
I'm sure that you're familiar of the concept of Sadaqah Jariyah, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So when you die, for people that don't know, there's pretty much two ways of getting blessings. There's one, when people come to your grave and they come and pray for you. And there's another thing called Sadaqah Jariyah. And it's essentially the concept of if you put money towards, or not even just money, like if you build a mosque or you build any type of building that helps someone or something like that, so long as that building exists, you'll get blessings from it. So for example, even if you plant a tree, if you plant a tree and it lives for 1,000 years, every time people. Yeah, if it's an apple tree, every time someone eats from it, they get a blessing. Yep. Every time someone sits in the shade because of the tree, you get a blessing. Every time these type of things happen, you get a blessing. So for me, like, all the people I love and all this other stuff, I'll be inevitably forgotten, right? When I die, there's a limited amount of people that can come pray for me. And then how many times are they actually going to pray for me? And all this other stuff, right? But if I just make as much money as possible and then put it all towards like building mosques, building libraries, building hospitals, these type of things, like who's gonna, like just infinite blessings glitch, you know what I'm trying to say? When I die, man, I just have bare blessings. So, you know, your money's only worth so much.
You can't take it when you're dead.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know what I'm saying?
Distribute it.
Yeah, just get it gone. And there's also a bunch of other things, like, for example, your kids are going to learn a bunch of lessons that that can come from...
You doing that?
Yeah, that will come from not having money.
Yeah.
That
yeah, of course, yeah.
You kind of just can't teach them if they grow up in wealth. You know, even in the hadith, it says the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said he looked into heaven and saw majority poor people, you know? So to me, that tells me that, you know, there's a bunch of lessons that these people learn about humility, learn about honor and dignity, integrity, these type of things that can't be taught if you grow up in wealth.
It's true. I experienced it.
Yeah, so if I can take that money, sort of spoiling my children and ruining their lives and their future, like I'll just give it to people that need it. I benefit from it. Everyone benefits from it. You know, like there's no loss. And worst case scenario, religion's not real, and I did a good thing for the world before I died. So,
what is your relationship with Islam like?
It's blossoming. It's like it's probably the best way I described it.
Did you find religion, or have you always been a man of God?
No, I grew up with it. Like my parents are like religious and stuff like that. But for the most part, like it's been more ritualistic up until probably like the last like 4 years, where it started to become more of like a bond. A lot of people that are hung up in religion have this whole idea of like you have to do this and you have to do that and you have to do this, and when they just forget the core principle of the fact that you are building a relationship with God. Your relationship with God comes from the heart. It doesn't come from rituals. You can pray 5 times a day for your entire life, but if you're not bonding with God through that process, then what is it worth?
Yeah.
And bonding with God doesn't just come from prayer. You don't just pray to connect with God.
It's the way you act as well.
Yeah, and not just how you act, it's how you think. It's what you believe.
Yeah.
It's your attitude. It's these type of things,
What you
right?
put out to the world. Everything.
Yeah, 100%. So, for example, like, if you're someone in society that is, you know, shunning prostitutes, for example, instead of being open to the idea that, you know, they can come closer to God too and these type of things, then you're no better than
them.
Well, who's to say they're bad as well?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we, at the end
There's
of
a
the
bunch
day,
of things, like, sorry to cut you off.
No, go on.
But for example, like, if even someone is a prostitute, right? Who's to say that their love for God in their heart isn't greater than yours?
I was going to say, there's that story of that prostitute, or they say, where she was obviously a prostitute, but she fed a cat. And that some simple thing of her feeding the cat is what allowed her, that was her Sadqa Jariyah, for her to go to heaven.
Do you know where that's from?
Go on.
No, have you read the book that it's from?
No.
It's called The 40 Rules of Love by Elif Shafak, right?
Mm.
She's like a Turkish author. But that book, The 40 Rules of... Have you read it?
No.
Read that book. Great book. Amazing book. I was rereading it when before you came in on my Kindle there. But that is a great book. And it teaches lessons like that in that book and stuff like that. So I definitely recommend reading that one. But again, like, you know, when it comes to God and stuff like that, a lot of people love to take the idea that based on our actions, we can cast judgment as to who's a good Muslim and who's a bad Muslim, when that's just not true. Who's to say that this prostitute or any of these OnlyFans girls that you see online, who's to say that they're not, what's it called? That they don't have a purer heart than you?
Yeah.
And who's to say that their bad deeds are weighed up higher than yours? You know, the truth is you don't know, and you have to treat everyone with...
That's why it's haram for us to judge in the first place. We can't judge anyone. But you definitely do seem like a man who's connected to God, connecting closer to your religion. And I always love talking about that on podcasts, because for me it's a form of dawah, firstly, because you might have non-Muslim people, non-religious people, even if it's just a little itch to make them start thinking about it, which then going back to it is my Sadqa Jariyah, so it's a benefit. And then, you know, I've reverted, alhamdulillah, 3 people, I was going to say last year, and it's amazing, just off the back of the podcast, which is sick. So I love hearing the religious side of things and stuff like that. I know that we're late to talk about this in the podcast, but I do want to understand your family life and your financial life from when you grew up, because I want to know if it's much of a change from now to from back then. Like, what was all that like?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, like, I didn't get everything I wanted, obviously.
Did you always grow up around this area?
Yeah,
okay.
I've lived in Nottingham. I grew up in Nottingham and stuff like that. But, yeah, I wasn't a spoiled kid by any means, but I wasn't broke. You know what I'm saying? Like, my parents went uni, they got degrees, and they got good paying jobs.
Yeah.
Like 50, 60, 70K a year, you know? Like, they got good paying jobs. And I had 2-parent household. Like, you know what I'm saying? We got 1 holiday a year. We had a decent car, you know, like a Vauxhall Zafira. Right?
Yeah. Siblings?
Yeah. I've had 1 younger brother my whole life. He's 20 years old. He works for me now. But bro, like, if the new FIFA dropped, now my parents wouldn't give me the new FIFA. You know what I'm saying? Like, they wouldn't get it for me.
You'd have to work for it.
Yeah, I'd have to go and get it myself and get my own money. But, like, I never had to worry about food on the table. I never had to worry about clothes. Like, you know what I'm saying? All that is... That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
Feel me?
Same in my household as well, to be
So
fair.
I didn't struggle
Yeah.
by any means, but I wasn't, like, spoiled.
You wasn't given everything. They still made you work for...
Yeah, I wasn't
basic
spoiled.
things.
I wasn't privileged because I'm a second-gen immigrant.
Yeah.
So my parents are the first gen. So their grandparents came over. Then they were the first gen that had to go uni and this and that and get jobs. So they went and done that. And then I'm the one that's able to, like, take all the risks now.
Yeah.
All right? But you get the point. Like, if I wanted something myself, I'd have to go and get it. But now, like, I forget that how jaded I actually am to a lot. Like, for example, next week I'm going to go to the Dolomites, right?
The what?
The Dolomites in Italy, right? I'm going with a couple of my friends. We're taking a jet there, jet back, and we got the nicest hotel there, right? Like, I forget. I looked at the jack prices when they quoted it to me, and I was like, damn, it's quite good.
How much is it if you don't mind me asking?
25 bags, right?
One way?
Both to go there and back.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that's quite good,
Yeah.
right? But then I showed my friend, he like lost his mind. I was like, damn, I kind of just forgot about that for a second. But it's so good being able to like one of my favorite things is you go anywhere, you just scan your card, and like I haven't even looked at the price in a couple of years, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I've got PTSD. I remember there was a point in my life here where every time I'd pay for something, card would be declined. So now it's just force of habit of anytime I pay for something, look at the card machine, approved, cool, sweet, move on. And it's still like that today. Like my mindset is right. I'm just waiting for the decline. It's jokes, to be fair. But no, how do your parents view your success? Like, have you asked them about it? Pride, you know, what's it been like? I say
they're
this
just
because-
like they just don't get involved. You know what I'm trying to say? They're like anything that I give, they know that it comes with no expectation, and I'm given from the heart. I'm given just because I believe it's the right thing to do, and I want to look after my parents and this type of thing. They don't expect anything, and they're super grateful when they get something. And when it comes to business, they stay out of it. Their number one priority, 100% of the time, is just to make sure I'm a good person. That's it. It's that my dad always tells me, like, as your parent, I don't care how much money you make. You could lose it all tomorrow if it means you become a terrible person. I don't care. I'd rather you was broke, but you was a good person than rich with a terrible attitude and a bad person and all this other stuff, you know? So that's their only view on it. He says, when it comes to business, I'm not going to give you advice on your business because I don't know what I'm talking about. When it comes to, making money, and I'm not going to, you know what I'm trying to say? He says, I'm not going to ask you for money. I'm not going to ask you anything. I just ask you focus on becoming a good person. That's it.
Alhamdulillah, bro. Alhamdulillah. Well, Musa, if people want to find you, where can they do so?
Instagram at musi.02. Also doing vlogs on YouTube now.
Is it, yeah?
Yeah, Musa at Musi Makes Money is the YouTube app.
The vlogs, are they regarding how to make money?
No, it's just lifestyle vlogs showing you
where you get the money.
Well, it's
what you do with the money.
It's just like showing you like what I do with my life and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm trying to sell my course through it.
How much is your course?
It's not up, $27.
Really?
Yeah.
What, lifetime access?
No, that's first month.
Oh, okay. So it's a subscription basis.
Yeah.
Oh, fair play, bro. Fair play.
Yeah.
Sick.
I got a rule in there as well. If you get 5 million views, I'll give you a job.
5 million views across X any
If you get 5 million views in a month, I'll give you a job. I'll hire you.
Sick. There we go. And what, remote working as well?
Yeah. You get 5 million views in a month, I'll give you a job.
There's the challenge. Start clipping this podcast.
That's it. Get busy.
Now, Musa, I want to appreciate you coming on, bro. I definitely want to come down to your office, maybe whenever I'm in Nottingham. Or to be fair, I'll come down whenever, bro. Whenever you're in the country, because you're flying out soon anyway. So am I, to be fair. But until then, guys, make sure you subscribe, like, comment your feedback, and I'll catch you lot on the next episode next Sunday. Peace.